Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Tuesday, the 13th of October, 2020. Glad to have you guys here. Now, I told you guys about this effect, where the stock market starts to roll over a little bit, and precious metals, gold, silver, Bitcoin, it all takes a hit. Warned you guys about this. That's because they're selling the paper short contracts. They're not selling the real metal. They're selling the paper short contracts. And they don't really fear. There's no real fear in the marketplace right now. It's kind of like it's almost like a game they're playing. This is just monopoly money, and so they're not frightened or anything, and they sell off their paper short contracts when the market starts to fall a little bit, maybe to make up for losses in the market. And this effect will continue until they get frightened, and then they go to gold and silver as a safe haven asset. So then when the tide turns, and basically the tide could turn really big time. Well, let's take a look. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on today. We're looking at a massive little knockdown in the silver price, 24.20 today. Let me hone the charts in a little bit better. 24.20 today on silver, and it's the price has dropped 89 cents, which is quite a large drop for silver prices, If there's a very limited supply right now for silver out there. Silver, more so than gold, is the mines, is where the silver comes from, is the mines. And, obviously, because of what's going on with this COVID thing and everything, the mines are not up to full snuff. They're not up to full production right now. And industry still needs a lot of silver for industry around the world, And, of course, we're moving into a situation right now where everything is kind of bizarre. But at a certain point, this market will turn around. At a certain point, when the next stimulus comes around, on top of what could be a small potential market crash in the Dow. This is what I see coming. I don't think they're going to let it fall anywhere. Once it starts to fall around 5,000 points or so, I think they're going to step in with some sort of stimulus measures to try to stop it. And then, of course, we got that new stimulus package that they're fighting over, and they can't decide whether they want 1.8 trillion or 2.2 trillion, and it's being held up and everything. And then we got this election cycle coming up. I can see massive discontent coming with this election cycle. I can see huge problems. And the closer it is, the closer the vote is, the worse the problems are going to be. So if we get a clear-cut winner, doesn't matter which side, I'm not going to take sides here. I don't care about that. All I care about is if we get a clear-cut winner, that's going to help us get through this whole thing. If we can get a clear-cut winner. If we don't, if it's really, really, really close, this could lead to things spiraling out of control. Honest to goodness. And the closer it is, the more it could lead to things spiraling out of control. The closer we get to a 50-50 sort of thing where they don't know who even know who won. That's a worst case scenario where they don't even know who won, sort of thing. That could lead everything out of control at this point, because we've been spiraling toward the abyss. What little push would it take to push us off of the cliff on this thing? We got to really watch out for that. The election is a potential thing that's coming up that could push the system over the edge, especially if the United States falls over the edge and falls into some sort of chaotic, well, we've seen it start to descend toward that, a few months ago when the cities were burning. Imagine that, but maybe 10 times worse. And there's there would be a loss in the power structure. In other words, undecided, there would be a gap there. What I'm looking for to say is kind of like a gap in the power structure of the biggest, most powerful nation on earth, where there's kind of like a lot of squibbling and squabbling and everything else. China might see that as their opportunity to make some sort of move. Because, the world, geopolitically right now, the world is like right on the edge of what could fall into something really big, And the rest of the world, too, would go down with the United States economy. If the United States gets into some sort of a massive problem like that, civil unrest is what we're talking about here on a massive scale. Not on a small scale, but on a massive scale. Then the whole world economy is going to tank with the United States economy, too, And this could be a really, really bad winter, what we're looking at. And it all comes down to this election. Getting through this and getting past it in the worst case scenario that we could possibly have, the worst case scenario is a undecided, where the votes are so close that they don't have a clear-cut winner. That's the worst case scenario we can possibly have. And you know what, guys? I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's what it's starting to look like. It's going to be something like that. I'm hoping it won't be, but anyway, listen, let's move on. We looked at the silver price. Let's take a look at gold today. This is part of what I'm really worried about, really concerned about. Like I did my show yesterday, and I was talking about how things could tumble out of control this winter. And this is one of the biggest things that is on my mind. The biggest worries is some sort of contested, no clear-cut winner, too close to call, and then civil unrest breaks out on a massive scale like we've never seen before. And then what happens then? Then the next domino falls, which is the stock market and the economy. And everything just kind of tumbles down the tube from there. And, have your food supplies ready at home, Have your water. You need lots of bottled water. Have it at the ready, because I'm telling you, if this thing hits really bad, it could seize up almost everything for a little while, for maybe a few months, maybe 2, 3, 4 months. Everything could just be like a mess. A hot mess. And this will carry over. This wouldn't just be in the United States. It'd carry over here to Canada. It would carry over to every country on earth. And all the people could then start to revolt everywhere in all the cities and everywhere on earth because they feel like, hey, people feel privileged. They feel entitled in this generation because they always have been ever since they've been alive. Anything they want. You want lobster tonight? Just go down to the grocery store or go to your local big food center or whatever, and you can find it there. Anything you want, anything you desire, all the time, 24/7. It's always been there for these people. Of course, they're going to feel entitled, like they deserve this forever. Anything they want to watch on the internet, they got it right there. Bing. Any place they want to go, they hop in their car and go there. And it's been that way their whole life. Now, all of a sudden, everything's starting to seize up on the entire mechanism of the system. Of course, they're going to get mad. They feel entitled. They feel like, I want things the way they used to be. And they're going to hop in their car, and if there's a big thing going on, they're going to want to go there, and they're going to want to participate in this craziness that might come. Seriously. Okay. Talked about that enough. $18.94 for gold today. It's down $27.50. Cryptocurrency today. Cryptocurrency didn't take quite as big a hit. 361.4 billion, 58.4% Bitcoin dominance. 11,396. Now, it was up around 11,600, 11,500, 11,600. Now it's 11,396. So it took a little hit. Just a little bit. Not like gold and silver. Took a big hit. Dow Jones today. It's off 84 points today. My tendency is to think that this could be the start of something. And I've been anticipating this for weeks now, that the Dow's going to roll over, because of what's happening out there. The entire world economy is going down the tubes, and the Dow stays up like it has been staying up, but it's propped up on cheap, easy money. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if every single person in the United States has lost their job. They're still going to continue to buy Apple. Well, let me ask you, if every single person in the United States has lost their jobs, who's going to buy all those Apple phones? It's just these few stocks, just a few of these FANG stocks and stuff that's holding the whole market up. And Apple's one of the big ones. These are a lot of them are tech stocks and stuff. And how can they stay up if nobody can afford to buy the tech? It's just gonna... Holy Toledo. Okay, here. Crude oil today, $40.25 today. And we're seeing them keep it around $40. Bonds and rates. Now, this is why I don't put this chart up so much anymore. I'll put it up, but we saw the bond yields climbing yesterday. Now today they're falling, and they're keeping these low. These are artificially kept at these rates. They're going to keep them right there at these rates. Like the U.S. 30-year, they're going to keep it at 1.5. And the U.S. 10-year, they're going to keep it at 0.75. And they're just going to, if it goes up a little bit, they'd knock it back down. If it goes down, they'd bring it back up. They're keeping them at these rates. And this is why I put my funny picture up every day. Okay, here's the funny picture today. What is it like? How do you know when the water's cold? You throw your puppy in and take a look at its face. That's my funny picture for today. Anyway, U.S. dollar index today, 93.56, and we see it ascending upwards today, So they're running back into the dollar again today. They're getting a little bit scared, so they run into the dollar. So it's the last place that they should run in to. Okay, it's like if a building is on fire, and you're going to run inside, where the fire is. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Listen, guys, thank you for listening to my show today. These are beyond interesting times. They say a curse. They say, okay, may you live in interesting times. This is beyond interesting times. These times are downright dangerous and scary. It's beyond interesting now at this point. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.